When I first started traveling out west, I have to admit that Idaho wasn't on top of my list of states to go to. Furthermore, when I took my first road trip out west, I basically passed right through Idaho and its northern panhandle on my way to Glacier National Park from Olympic National Park. Point is, I was completely wrong for this, and as I learned more about where to travel to, Idaho grew more and more desirable to come visit. I spent a week in Idaho this past June, and these are my top 8 places I think you should visit. Number 1 is Boise. This artsy and vibrant city is the capital of Idaho and the most populated city in the state. You could spend a whole day here and start it off by going over to the gorgeous Capitol building of Idaho and go inside to check out the beautiful interior of the building. I've been to a decent amount of Capitol buildings in the United States, and this one probably does one of the best at sharing its history. There is a museum portion of the building with plenty of signs to read along with a gift shop. If you love to read even more, you can stop at the Idaho State Museum, which does an even better job of sharing its history in Idaho in plenty aspects. I'd recommend finishing your evening off with a hike at the Table Rock, which gives you great views of Boise and the mountains surrounding the city. Number 2 is Bruneau Dunes State Park. Located about an hour south of Boise, the park features amazing and random sand dunes in which you can hike to the top of them, sandboard down them, or simply just take in a beautiful sunset. Also, this park is home to the tallest freestanding sand dunes in North America. Number 3 is Box Canyon, which is a part of the larger Thousand Springs State Park system. You are going to question your maps, but just trust it, keep driving. This is literally in the middle of nowhere. As you can see, dry, barren, doesn't look like anything's going to happen, and then bam. I think the contrast is the most interesting part of this place, along with how blue the spring water is below. You can simply just stay at the rim of the canyon and look down below, or you can hike to the bottom and see how real the contrast really is, and also see a pretty waterfall. Number 4 is also part of the Thousand Springs State Park system with Ritter Island. It's only a 10-minute drive from Box Canyon, and the park is pretty small, making all things pretty convenient. Although the park is small, it has plenty of beauty to see, with Lemon Falls being a short walk from the parking lot, along with a slightly longer walk to the mini Miller Springs, which gusses out the side of the canyon wall. Number 5 is the last unit of the Thousand Springs State Park system that I'll be discussing, with Niagara Springs. Like Mini Miller, this spring gushes along the canyon wall as well and is easily accessible to see right beside the road, with a little boardwalk that takes you right to it. The park also offers abundant wildlife and year-round fishing in Crystal Lake. Number 6 is the city of Twin Falls. This city is home to one of the most iconic spots in Idaho, with Shoshone Falls. Often referred to as the Niagara of the West, this waterfall is by far the strongest I've seen on my trip in Idaho, and it wasn't even near the strongest it usually is. During the summer months, a portion of the waterfall is diverted for irrigation purposes, but during the winter you can see Shoshone at its full strength. Now, if this didn't convince you to come here, then good news is there's more waterfalls near the city, with the P. Ryan Coulee and Auger Falls. These are much taller, and as they fall into the Snake River below, they are just as stunning. They are both easily seen from the car, but you can take trails to get even closer to them. Up to this point, these have been in southern Idaho, but number 7, we creep into central Idaho with the Sawtooth National Forest. Idaho is the only western state in the country that doesn't have a national park, which is insanity to me. This is one out of 2 places in Idaho that I think should be a national park in the state easily. The jagged mountain peaks pop out over the horizon, and they are just absolutely stunning to drive to. 2 trails I would strongly recommend is the trail up to Alpine Lake and the trail up to the Bench Lakes. Both are over 7 miles and over 1,200 feet of elevation gain, and both are easily worth the work to get to the destination. After you do these amazing hikes, stop at the Redfish Lake Lodge and grab some food, sit back and take in the views that Redfish Lake has to offer. Number 8, and the last destination on this list, is Craters of the Moon National Monument and Preserve. This place should be the next national park, and I'm not sure it's even a debate. I've spent more time in Utah than any other state in the West, and I can say this park is one of the most unique places I've ever been to. The main landmarks in the park require a short walk from the parking lot, which makes it very accessible, with a scenic drive taking you to all the main spots. If you come here, you have to do the North Crater Trail, which is a 3.5-mile round trip, but it's so worth it. I did not expect these craters to be massive, life-size. You feel so tiny standing next to them. It's out of this world insane. If you don't have time to do the whole trail, then start at the spatter cones and just walk to the big craters, which isn't far. The craters are absolutely massive and truly left me jaw dropped. This is one of those places that left me just without words, and I know it's cliche, but it's my honest reaction. You can even go inside lava tubes, which when I was there they were closed, but from what I heard, it's a really cool experience. This is just a tiny percentage of all the amazing things you can do in Idaho. This state is often overlooked, including by me, and it shouldn't be, because it's one of my biggest mistakes I've ever made as a traveler. This is all from my top places to visit in this amazing state. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and also follow my Instagram and TikTok, which I have linked in the bio below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.